You guys, this is weird. It's 9:30 p.m. and I'm going live. And it reminds me of when I had a job that I had to show up for, like 8 to 5 every day. All my lives would be in the PM after my kids went to bed. So here I am again. It's a little nostalgia. But I have wanted to go live more. And today it completely got away from me. And so it's 9:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Maybe I'll catch some of the West Coast people. If you're here watching with me, let me know. I'm just kind of making sure that we are going live and in the right place. Let's see if I can. Oh, good, I am. Okay. Hi. Happy Monday. If you don't know, Monday is my favorite day. Okay. It's the best day because Sunday night, you get to set your intention about how the week is going to go. And Monday is like your trial run. You're like, I got this. It's Monday. I'm going to wake up on time. I'm going to go do my workout early or whatever you choose to do. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to read my book. I'm going to do all the things. My Monday is going to be amazing. Okay. So hopefully that's how you attack your Monday. Hopefully it's not Sunday night. Oh, crap. Tomorrow's Monday. I don't want to go to work. And now I'm stressed about going to work. Like, hopefully it's not that because I've also been there too. But it's funny. Time is funny. So I want to talk about time tonight because as I am writing my first book, which has been something that I have always wanted to do. Has anybody else wanted to write a book? It's like I've always wanted to. I didn't really ever know exactly what it would be like, but I knew I had a book in me. I'm starting the process, and it's a really cool process. I've learned a lot so far, and I've not done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of the research. So if you ever have questions about starting a book, let me know. Just say hi if you're here so I can see you. And let me know that you're also up with me at 9:30 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time. Okay, time. So if you don't know me, my name is Gwen, by the way, and I am super duper passionate about helping women create a life that they don't feel like they need a vacation from. Because somewhere between really loving life in high school, oh, hey, girl, hey, really loving life in high school, and then going to college and graduating and getting a job, there's like this huge transition. And for some reason, you feel like time is completely endless. You have so much time in college. Nothing's ever ending. You're never going to have to work a full-time job. Like, it just feels endless. And then you get out of school and you get a job and you're like, oh, okay, so I have 40 years in the workforce. I'm going to work like 40 hours a week, maybe more, because I feel like society expects like more out of people now. And then I'm going to retire in 40 years and then I can finally do what I want, right? Well, here's a story about time and why not letting time get away from you is so important. And I think our kids need to hear us talk about this more, because if they don't hear it, they won't know it until it's too late. I actually don't think it's ever too late. But I guess if you just never know how many days you have to live, you just never know, right? So when I was I think I was 15. So I was like I was going into maybe freshman or sophomore year in high school. I want to say it was sophomore year because I was driving. So maybe I wasn't 15, I was 16-ish driving. And I had started to see this boy, I'll call him a boy because it's legit a boy in high school, from one of the other towns. And we would go driving together and we went to Six Flags with all of our friends, like my best friend Kalina and Shayna. We went to Six Flags together with all of his friends. We went quarry jumping. We had an amazing time. After high school, after the day was done at high school, we would hang out. We would go to his house. I worked at GameStop at the time. I was just having the most fun of my life. And we were not official. Okay, we were not boyfriend, girlfriend. And I wasn't quite sure like how to approach that because he was a pretty popular kid and I was not. He had a lot of girls lusting after him. And so we lived a completely different life, but we started chatting on AOL Instant Messenger. So tell me, like, that's how I know how old you are. If you were like, oh yeah, that's where I started talking to my friends on AOL Instant Messenger. So we would talk back and forth. I had, and I can't find any more emails from him that were from AOL Instant Messenger and MySpace, you guys. MySpace, where you could have a profile picture. It was almost like Tinder before Tinder arrived, right? Like you have a profile picture, you would have music on your page, and the more music that you had, the slower your page scrolled. It was like painful, right? MySpace. So we hung out a lot. We talked a lot. And my family took a trip to Ireland, and we were gone for like 2 weeks. We had a timeshare. And so we would leave and go to Ireland for 2 weeks and go on vacation. And I was like smitten over this boy. I had been in a long relationship, like however long relationship you can be in when you're like 16, right? How old was I? It must have been a junior in high school. So I was with somebody before that for like a year and a half. And I had finally broken it off, was feeling free and so excited to like crush on somebody else. I was smitten by him. So week 1 into our family vacation, what do? You call up your best friend. Now, this was not the time of smartphones. So I literally got coins. We were staying in a castle, you guys, a castle in Ireland. Okay, so I got coins or a card. I can't remember if it was a phone card. And I figured out how to dial out internationally to my best friend, Kalina. Obviously, I knew her number like the back of my hand. I had like 10 seconds to like have a conversation with her. And the first thing I say is like, how's Zach? And she avoided my question. And we talked a little bit and she's like, how's your vacation? How's things going? I'm like, it's great. We did this. How's Zach? Has he talked about me at all? Because that's all you want to know. Has the person that you crush on talked about you at all? And she was like, yeah, we have to talk. So when you get home, we'll talk. That is like a nightmare for my family for a whole nother week on vacation that my best friend won't even tell me what's going on. So, right. So all these scenarios start playing out in my head. I'm like, oh my God, he's seeing somebody. He has a girlfriend. He's completely forgotten about me. He's not talking about me at all. Like all the things went through my head. And I'm like, what do you mean we have to talk? We'll just talk when you get home. Guys, it was the longest 7 days of my life to live out that second part of our vacation. Like I could not stop thinking about what she said. And I got home. International flights are late at night, right? So I got home and I went right to bed. It was late when we got home. I went right to bed. Got up the next morning. My 2 best friends are in my driveway. I'm like, hey guys. They're like, hey, welcome back. We're going to talk. So while I was away on vacation, the boy that I was smitten over got into a car accident and died. And I didn't get to be a part of the wake or the funeral or any part of the services. I never got to say goodbye to him. I never got to have a final conversation with him. Never went to another party or a Six Flags or anything with this boy. And it gut punched me because it was the first time in my life that I was like, time is fucking real. Sorry. Time is real, you guys. It was the first time I realized that I didn't have control over time and that I didn't have control over how long we're put on this earth for. And it was a really big wake-up call for me. And I had a really hard time with that time in my life where not a lot of other people had been through an experience like that before. I didn't have a ton of people to talk to. It was hard not to just gather with everyone who was friends with him and just reminisce, right? And that's all we did. We would drive. He was buried in Connecticut, and we would drive 2 hours to the site, to the gravestone, and just hang out there. 2 hours each way. Like time, you guys, time cannot come back. And I was gut punched by it then. But, you work through things in high school, and what am I going to do? You move forward and you move on because that's what you're forced to do, right? But if I could go back in time, were there things that I would have done differently? Yeah. And when I think about my life now, right? Because if I fast forward and I go to working at a job that was not fulfilling me and actually caused me to fall into adrenal fatigue. Like if I could go back in time and be like, Gwen, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth this time of your life, because the 3 years that you put in here at this job, and then the 3 years that it takes you to get out of the cycle of adrenal fatigue, guys, the physical effects of stress on your body are insane. All of that time, missed time with my kids, I didn't want to miss that. You can't get that back. That was the second time that I realized that time was out of my control, kind of. But the cool thing is that you can change, right? You can kind of control the time that you have now. You can't get the time back that you missed, but you can control the time that you have now. Does that make sense? So if you are in a spot where you're like, it's Monday and I'm already stressed out and I already dislike what my life looks like this week. Like, let's take it week by week. I'm already hating how things are going on Monday. And I don't love what I'm doing, and I don't get to spend enough time with my family and my friends. And I feel like I just work to come home and to eat and to sleep and to get up and go to work again. You can change it, and it's not easy, but it is doable. And it's like a pivot, right? You pivot this thought process, because up until the second time I realized that time was not mine, I didn't know that I could create a life that didn't mean I was missing out on my kids' lives, and didn't mean that I was missing out on hanging out with people that I loved and spending quality time with people and really just cherishing every single part of my life. I didn't know that was even possible. And it's like this little ladder. Because once you actually know you've taken the first step, once you know you have control over what your life looks like, and although you can't get the time back that you've passed, that you can actually control what the time looks like in your future, now you know you've taken the first step, okay? Before that, you were completely unaware. You didn't even know that step existed. Then it appeared in front of you when you figured it out, and you take that step up. And then you take that step up and you're like, oh, okay, so there is this whole other world out here. I can create a life by design. Well, I'm going to take the step up to start learning a little bit more about how that works. Like, I'm still kind of not knowing what I'm doing, but I know that there's something out there, and I know that I can go research more and figure out how this works. And you start taking these little tiny steps, but without having that information in front of you that you can create your future, that you can control your future time, that you can create time freedom, right? To not feel like you're strapped down by time and feel like you've missed out on part of your life and be sad about that. Before you had that in front of you, you didn't even know there was a step there. You would have just walked along and it would have been smooth pavement. Steps are good. Ladders are good. We want to climb them to grow our mind and pursue our purpose and create a life that we are truly, truly, truly in love with. And I can never get that time back with Zach. I can never get that back. It's crazy. It's been so long, but it's crazy. But if you've ever had a monumental thing in your life happen like that, you're like gut punched or slapped upside the face, and you're like, oh crap, you guys. I have been living my life and not loving what I'm doing up until this point, and I can't get that time back. How am I going to change my time going forward? And I don't know about you, but that feels pretty powerful for me. And so that is part of my purpose and part of the reason why I show up here, in that I don't want anyone to ever regret not doing something, because something like that happens in life. That's a major monumental thing that changes how you live forever, right? That changes a conversation that you can never have with somebody ever again because their time was up and yours isn't. I literally live to help people figure out that if you're not happy with where you are right now, you can change it. And not only that, your setting goals doesn't just affect you, it affects every single person around you. It affects how you show up with your family. It affects how you show up in your work. It affects the people, the next generation, your kids. Like it's never just about you now. If you have children, it's about changing your life so that you can help change the next generation's life and teach them how to leave a legacy. So if you're unsure how to start that, I challenge you to join the community of women who are already working on, they took the first step. They took the first step of recognition, like, oh, hey, world, I see you out there. Oh, you can create your life. You can design it towards the things that you can create more time freedom, right? I challenge you to come join them. And let's see if I can even type it. Our group is called Inspired and Ready for More on Facebook. And these are women who are like, okay, I'm here for it. Let's do it. And they don't necessarily know what steps to take, but that's why that group is there, is that we get to walk you through how to create more time and how to never look back and be like, man, I wish, right? I want you to go forward feeling like I'm in complete control of what's happening in my life. And I love my life. And I'm going to teach my children how to love their lives too. So to Zach, how many years ago was that? 2000? There's still like certain songs that I can't listen to on the radio because they were in his memory video. It just is a really crappy feeling to not have a closing with somebody, to not ever know how he truly felt about me. Not that it would change anything about where we are in life right now, but just to not know. That's the hardest part, is to not know what could have been, even if just for a short period of time, or the conversations that we would have had, or the friendship that would have developed, or the people I would have met being connected. Like, to just not be able to have that is one of the hardest things. So I want you guys to go forward knowing that you're in control of what you have, and that time cannot be recreated, but you can create it. You can create the life that you absolutely love. So come on over, join us in Inspired and Ready for More. Take a look at what you're not loving about your life, and then go ahead and set goals and steps and ways that you can move forward so that you don't look back at your life and say, why did I waste so much time doing that? Why did I waste so much time not being completely, totally, and fully happy with myself and my life, right? I love you guys. I so appreciate you. Hello. I so appreciate you being here. And I'll chat with you tomorrow. I hope you have a good night. Love you.